Allen Iverson, born on June 7, 1975, in Hampton, Virginia, didn't just play basketball, he revolutionized it. Raised by his single mother and Iverson, in one of the toughest neighborhoods in the state, Allen's life was shaped by adversity. From an early age, he bore the weight of poverty, violence, and instability. His mother worked tirelessly to provide for him, and it was her unshakable belief in her son that gave him hope. That foundation, built on love and struggle, created a warrior who would later become a global icon. Even before high school, Iverson was a phenom in both football and basketball. At Bethel High School, he led his teams to state championships in both sports, showcasing electric speed, creativity, and leadership. He had the instincts of a quarterback and the heart of a lion. But life had other plans. In 1993, at age 17, he was arrested following a racially charged incident at a bowling alley. He was convicted and sentenced to 15 years, with 10 suspended. After serving 4 months, he was granted clemency by Governor Douglas Wilder. The incident, controversial and polarizing, nearly derailed his future. Salvation came through basketball. Georgetown University's legendary coach John Thompson took a chance on him, providing not only a scholarship but a lifeline. Iverson flourished at Georgetown, playing 2 standout seasons. He averaged over 23 points per game and turned heads with his quickness, tenacity, and fearlessness. Though undersized at 6 feet, he played like a giant, relentless on defense and explosive on offense. He carried the Hoyas to an Elite Eight appearance and left college as one of the most electrifying guards in the country. Iverson declared for the 1996 NBA draft and was selected first overall by the Philadelphia 76ers. He was the shortest player ever taken with the top pick. Immediately, he brought something different to the NBA. His crossover was lethal, his scoring unmatched, and his confidence unshakable. In his rookie season, he averaged 23.5 points per game and introduced himself to the league with a crossover move that left even Michael Jordan stumbling. More than just numbers, Iverson brought culture. He embodied the pulse of hip-hop, wearing baggy clothes, cornrows, and tattoos when the NBA still tried to present a polished, corporate image. He wasn't trying to fit in, he was telling the world he belonged on his terms. His authenticity made him a hero to a generation that saw themselves in him. The league would eventually adapt, but Iverson forced the conversation. On the court, he was fearless. Iverson was a 4-time scoring champion, 11-time All-Star, and the 2001 NBA MVP. That year, he led the 76ers to the NBA Finals against the powerhouse Los Angeles Lakers. Despite being underdogs, Philadelphia shocked the world by winning Game 1, led by Iverson's 48-point masterpiece. His step-over on Tyronn Lue became a defining image, symbolic of a player who never backed down. Iverson's playing style took a toll on his body. At barely 165 pounds, he absorbed more contact than players twice his size, but he kept getting up. He averaged 26.7 points, 6.2 assists, and 2.2 steals per game for his career. He played for the Denver Nuggets, Detroit Pistons, Memphis Grizzlies, and even returned to Philly for a final stint. But it was always the 76ers where he left his soul on the floor. Of course, his career wasn't without controversy. Iverson clashed with coaches and executives, most famously in the practice press conference where he questioned media focus on his missed practices rather than his in-game impact. The moment, often misunderstood, highlighted the disconnect between Iverson and the media. But behind the defiance was a player who gave everything on game night. Financial struggles followed Iverson into retirement. Despite earning over $150 million during his career, poor financial management and personal challenges drained his wealth. In later years, he opened up about his hardships, becoming an example not only of athletic greatness but of human vulnerability. He rebuilt relationships, regained stability, and emerged as a mentor for younger players. In 2016, Allen Iverson was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. His tearful speech reflected the depth of his journey, the gratitude, the pain, the joy, and the redemption. He thanked his mother, his coaches, and even his critics. His induction wasn't just about stats, it was a celebration of survival, transformation, and legacy. Today, Iverson remains a fixture in the basketball world. He's a cultural ambassador for the NBA, a commentator, and an inspiration. His presence at All-Star games and league events draws admiration from both fans and players who grew up idolizing him. Younger stars like Stephen Curry, Kyrie Irving, and Ja Morant cite Iverson as a major influence. His fingerprints are all over today's game, on the style, the swagger, and the substance. Beyond basketball, Iverson is committed to giving back. He supports charities focused on youth empowerment, education, and poverty alleviation. He has worked to educate young athletes about financial literacy and the importance of mental health. He understands his role not just as a former player, but as a symbol of resilience. Iverson's story is one of contrasts: joy and pain, glory and struggle, rebellion and redemption. He remains a singular figure in sports, someone who refused to conform, who carried the hopes of a generation, and who wore his emotions on his sleeve. His influence helped shape modern NBA culture, empowering players to embrace their full identities. Allen Iverson didn't just change the game, he redefined what it meant to be real in an industry built on image. His fearlessness inspired millions, and his impact continues to ripple across the sports and cultural landscapes. As we look back on his life and career, we see more than highlights, we see heart. We see a kid from Hampton who turned pain into power, and who never let anyone define his limits. His journey reminds us that greatness comes in many forms, and sometimes, the most powerful legacies are born from the deepest struggles. In addition to his basketball accolades, Iverson's influence permeated broader pop culture. He appeared in music videos, inspired rap lyrics, and became a fashion icon. His unapologetic style helped shift the NBA's image toward authenticity and self-expression, paving the way for players to embrace individuality. He also held a deep respect for streetball culture and maintained close ties to the communities that first embraced him. He wasn't above fame, he carried it like a badge of honor for those who were overlooked. Iverson's commitment to speaking truth, whether it was popular or not, earned him equal parts criticism and admiration. His vulnerability was rare, and it gave voice to athletes who felt misunderstood or boxed in by corporate expectations. He used his platform not to boast but to relate, to bridge the gap between star and fan, reminding everyone that behind every jersey is a human being. As his legacy expands, Iverson has leaned into mentorship. He's worked with the NBA to create initiatives supporting players' transitions into retirement and personal development. His perspective, one formed through highs and lows, is now a guiding light for others navigating fame and fortune. He speaks at schools, sports camps, and forums, telling his story not to glorify, but to teach. To show that setbacks don't define you, your response does. His image now carries weight beyond the court. In Philadelphia, a statue commemorates his influence. In conversations about the greatest guards in NBA history, his name is firmly etched. But perhaps more powerful is the number of players who say, "I'm here because of AI." That impact is generational. It's cultural. It's human. Allen Iverson's narrative is still evolving, but its core is timeless. It's about believing in yourself when few do. It's about holding on when life gives you every reason to let go. And it's about using your platform to create space for others to rise. That's the legacy Iverson is building, one beyond banners and rings. One rooted in courage, authenticity, and love. Thank you for spending time with us in honoring the incredible legacy of Allen Iverson. If his story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more profiles that spotlight the heart and humanity behind the game's brightest stars. Until next time, keep believing in your own voice, and never be afraid to stand tall, even when you're the smallest on the court.